Well, hey y'all. Happy Monday. Um, when you have to title a video, it kind of gives away a lot of where the video is going to go. So, it's not clickbait. The title of the video is definitely not clickbait. It's um, it's a really ironic situation too because about a year ago, I made a video really for my nephew about how renting was a good choice for us at the time, and how sometimes it might be a good choice for people for a certain amount of time before they buy. And I got a lot of comments on the video, some people agreeing, but there were just as many people that were quick to tell me that um, that there's all kinds of things that can go on when you rent from somebody, um, and I that's true. That's very true. And I was like, well, we're in a really fortunate situation where the company that we rent from, they're great. They always fix things when we need them fixed, and they've been spot on for us. And so this is where the irony comes in, is that company that we worked so well with, back in November, like November of 2020 during the pandemic, they sold this house. Well, they unloaded a big part of their portfolio. It wasn't just this house. And we have been blessed all throughout the pandemic. We didn't have any job loss, and this year's actually been one of our best years because kind of my husband got a different route at work, and so that really improved our finances, if you will. So I'm losing my train of thought here. I apologize. Um, okay, so we didn't suffer any job loss. So we haven't had any reason not to pay our bills. And we always pay our bills kind of before they're due. I even kind of guesstimate the utilities, and so they're usually paid over. I always kind of have a rolling credit on my accounts. So when they came and did the home inspection, for the new investment group that was buying the house, the former company made like everything was going to be such an easy transition for us to move over because we've been such great tenants. And once everything was closed, then the new company would get a hold of us, and that they were a big property management company, bigger than they were, and probably going to just be an even better experience. And so we started paying rent to them as soon as that transition was made, and everything was how it was. And they hadn't offered us a lease, and I just kept paying the rent. And then in February, we got an email from them, advising us that we would need to apply to live in our home that we've lived in for 5 years now. So applying means just like when you apply to live in a new place, they wanted to run background checks, which is not a big deal, and credit checks, and verify our income. And they were quick to say that a person's eligibility can change in the span of a month. So even though we'd had a great situation with the former company, that just did not work for them. So because of that time period, and because of the jobs that I work, it took a little bit longer for my tax documents to come in because we needed to prove all of our income for the previous year. So we didn't actually get to begin that application process until like the end of February. And then the company's based in Austin, so they went through that thing with the snowstorm, and so there were a lot of things that made the application process really, really challenging there at the beginning. When we finally got the application done, and we were quite confident. We knew we had some things on our credit, but we knew that it wasn't really that dramatic, and that this year our number one goal was to pay off any debt that we had. And so and we knew that no matter what we had, that it was less than $10,000 between both my husband and I. So they did the application, and we were denied. And they kind of gave a vague answer, which was like, could be all of these things. And so we just decided to take some of our savings and pay all of that stuff off on our credit, thinking that one of those items on there was the thing that was causing that to be. So we did that, and we had to wait kind of to the 1st of March to do that, because to the 1st of April, because we paid those things off in March, and we wanted to get into the 1st of April so that it would hopefully roll over and show on our credit positively. So we resubmitted our application on the 7th of April and paid our rent on time, normal and everything. And on the 11th, I guess, we got another email letting us know that we were still declined for basically the same generic reason. And because we have the letters that show that we paid off our debt, we could dispute this. But the whole time that we've been in the application process, before we even started the application process, they pretty much had already sent out a letter with a notice to vacate in 60 days. So that kind of points to what we're thinking, and that's that they really don't have any intentions of leasing to us, even if we disputed it, which we really don't have enough time to now. We really just think they want to really raise the rent, because the rents in this area are really getting really, really high up there, and it's such a competitive market. It's pretty easy to just So now, I apologize. I am going to talk about my garden, because that's a huge part of this, is that we have to break down our garden, and again, we're real fortunate because we do have so many things in bags, so that's a blessing. But we do have our raised bed, and I'll show you in a minute my big areas of concern, like the places where I'm just going to lose things, like the bale. I've got, some fantasies about how I can save some of this stuff that's in the straw bale. I've thought about hiring a crane to lift out the raised bed, and we've talked about digging what's in the raised bed out. And the bags, again, are no big deal, because besides needing to break down the garden, I need to restore the yard to how it was, and it had grass. And so another irony is that I'd wanted to get the grass back up this year, so I've been watering it for about a month or two. So there's a lot of grass filled in already, and I have had seed, and I've got the fertilizer, but I've got to get everything off the lawn, and that's kind of the first thing, is get everything off the lawn. My husband would totally let me use a crane if I wanted to, because that's another challenge we are faced with, and I may or may not show it to you right now or in another video, is that going out our gate, we have that big lemon tree there, and kind of across from the giant lemon tree is the big condenser, a giant condenser. It's like the biggest condenser I've ever seen for our air conditioning unit. So to try to get anything past that tree and around that it's as big as the bed to carry it, or even think about my kiddie pools. I've got to figure out what I'm going to do about my kiddie pools. The one that I just started lettuces in, I could almost be okay with digging that up. The two over here that have got giant, dang near mature tomato plants, that makes me want to lift them up and try to get them out of here. So there's a lot of things that I have to figure out in regards to the garden, and a lot of things I have to figure out in regards to the house, because We weren't expecting this, and the thing I keep saying over and over, we told the children last night, even though we've kind of had wind of it since March, we wanted to be able to have answers before we shared it with the children. Um, so it's a big deal. It's kind of a big deal. A lot of work to do in basically 18 days, and we're in a really, really, really competitive rental market right now, and so so here's where the blessings come in, because um, you know me, I always have a positive way of looking at things, and the thing is, folks, is that this was our plan. Our senior son, our son that's a senior in high school, he's graduating in May. He got straight A's for the first time ever, and he's actually signed his paperwork to. There's so many things going on. He signed his paperwork to join the Air Force. So in a week or two, he goes to MEPS. That's where they do all the medical evaluation, and we don't see any reason why that'd be a big deal for him. So we're in the middle of April, and in just about a month and a week, all my children are out of school, and my senior graduates, and then within about 6 months, he should be going on, moving on with the military. So there's a lot going on, and I feel the need to share a lot of it with you, because I want you to know that, like I said, that this was part of our plan. Even though part of our plan, when we knew this year was the year that we were doing better, that we could finally get ahead on our bills. So our worst case scenario was that we were going to get our credit taken care of this year, keep saving money on the side, and then maybe be here 1 or 2 more years, and then we'd be ready to move on to buying. And but you know what the thing is with a vision board and having faith is that when you put something at the feet of God that's a desire of yours, or out into the universe as a vision, at the least opportune time, sometimes it seems to happen for you. So we all have heard that saying that, God doesn't close doors, he opens doors. So even if this is I'm doing my video right now. So even if this is sorry, I'm not going to do a whole lot of editing to this, but someone must not have known that I was filming. So try not to make this too long, but I just want you to know that even though I'm getting a little emotional right now, I'm really stepping into faith and standing in faith, because something I always say, and I tell my husband, and I'm telling my kids now, is that God did not bring us this far to drop us on our face, okay? So the other side of this is just getting kind of a swift kick in the butt, So we got almost all of our credit paid off, so we've got just a little bit left on my husband's stuff. My credit score's up like 130 points, and I still didn't get approved for this house. So obviously it's like going on a roller coaster that you really want to go on, though. There's going to be lots of ups and downs for me, for the children. Almost all the kids are really excited about it, just the idea of where things can go. Our youngest is, she's pretty sad, and she kind of goes up and down with being upset, and that's because this is where all of her memories are, and this is where she's done everything, and this is the place that she remembers of any place she's ever lived. So we've got a garden to take down, a house to take apart, and we have little hearts and little souls inside of our house that we have to keep going and keep together and be mindful of. So we've got some options and we've got some different things. Again, another huge blessing for us is that this isn't because we weren't paying our bills. This isn't because we don't have money. This isn't because we lost our jobs. We have money. We have the ability to do all the things. It's just the work and the emotions, and it's the human part of it that is going to be the hard part of it. So I also want to share this process with you because I'm not going to be the only person that does this, and I think you're going to benefit from knowing what I have to do in my garden. Because, you know, I say every year that this is going to be my best year. And this bed right here just looks so amazing. And so that's hard. But I'm going to be making shorter videos. I don't know, they'll probably be long, but I'm going to be making more content, and it's going to be a little raw and a little light on the editing because I'm going to share organizing different things in the house. I'm going to share breaking down the garden, and it's going to just kind of come in updates, you know, and if it's something that has to do with a specific topic, like, you know, how to get the seeds out of borage, then that will be the title of the video. And if it has to do with this, then it's going to have kind of the same thing, and it's going to be like update garden, house, losing house, or, you know, something to let you know that it's an update on this process. And then we'll start another series when we get to the next point and show you updates on that. And this is a really hard video to make, and I put it off all day long, and now I have to edit it. And what that means is I have to watch it over and over, you know. So that's why the editing might not be so good in this one, because I don't want to have to watch it over and over again. But I really want to reassure you that even though I know this is going to be really hard, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I can do hard things, and that this all has a purpose and it has a meaning, and in the end it's going to be awesome for my family, and it's going to make us stronger and more resilient and full of love, and really do something to enhance even more our walk and our faith in God. So I'm not gonna cry anymore. I'm gonna really try to come to you next full of spunk and spirit, because that's me. And ultimately, I want you to have the best day ever. And if you've got any ideas for me on stuff you think I might like, do you think I'm gonna be able to transplant those beans? I don't know, but I'll catch up with you in the next couple days, and gonna be more videos. So so if you're interested, you can check back whenever you like. And as always, I want to thank you so much for letting me share my garden and my life and the things that I learned that I hope are helpful to you, because that's all I ever want to be, is helpful to other people and be a light in the world. So I hope you have the best day ever.